Andre Barr, of course, as you know. This is my presentation about myself. First, I want to start where I was born and raised. Born in the great state of Texas. Born and grew up in the Dallas area. I was really born in Houston, but I was only there for about 2 years. My family, I'm an only child, so I don't have any brothers or sisters, obviously. I just had to find a lot of different things for my, how to entertain myself. So obviously, I used to build things. I got into movies and music pretty early. So if there's a movie line or music line you need to know, I'm probably one of the ones you need to ask. I'm coming from like a real athletic family, I guess I could say. My dad and his brothers and sisters were like the first generations from college, I guess, and everything. And 2 of them got scholarships. They both play basketball. And my uncle plays a lot of basketball. My mom used to play tennis. So even though nobody really went professional or anything, but everybody was always having a lot. So I've always been kind of athlete, and that's how I started into sports pretty early. As many of y'all know, I don't think you're from Texas, are you?
No.
Okay, well, people that are from Texas know pretty early that one of the requirements of being a male in Texas is you got to play football.
Oh,
So,
yeah, I can.
okay.
Maybe my second day here.
Yeah, okay, so obviously, I was obviously a part of that, but when I was younger, my mom, I remember it was always my mom. It was my dad didn't really care. My mom wanted to make sure I played different sports, not just football, not just basketball. So I played soccer, baseball, did track, all kinds of stuff when I was young. Now, as I got older, and baseball got more boring, and soccer was too much running for me, just stuck with football and basketball, and I tried to really just stick with that. And by the time I got to high school, my plan, if you asked me, I was going to be either in the NFL or NBA. My only decision was having to pick which one I was going to go to. So, but when I started, during the middle of high school was when the problems, obviously real life started setting in. I tore my ACL, both my ACLs before my junior year in high school. So obviously that took a couple of years out, that takes your speed out, that takes your strength out. And so especially as I don't know what happened with that, a 15 or 16-year-old kid, that's a lot to mentally go through, especially when you're just focused on, I only had one dream, make it professional. So that's all I was thinking about, that's all I was working towards. And so to have that happen to me at a young age, it was hard, but surprisingly, I didn't let it deter me. So I still ended up getting into a scholarship after my senior year, which surprised me. I went to Texas Tech, and which was some of the best years of my life, as the cliche goes. But reality started to set in more that you're still not going to go to the league or whatever, because I still had the knee injuries and I was still having to fight through that. You're playing, rehab, surgery, rehab again, and that cycle actually started to get to me. So it started to hit me mentally. So that's around my sophomore year is when I really started working on my plan B. I know that's late for most people, but we're still a bit late than ever. But what really hit me was Kirby Hocutt, our new athletic, well, not new anymore, was the new athletic director that year. And he was kind of young, and he kind of hit me, and I was really in the middle of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to stay with sports, but I was trying to think of obviously something I'm not playing. And coaching has never really been my thing. I don't really like coaching. It's too fickle for me. So Kirby was talking. He just seemed so kind of young, and it was just something that I wanted to do. He was being an athletic director. So I started talking to some of my advisors and around in the athletic offices, and then they started pointing me towards different athletic directors. You have some over the business operations, over the budget, over the staff, and the deputies. So I talked to about 4 different athletic directors just to figure out how to get started in athletic administration and eventually become an athletic director. And it was actually surprising to me, what they told me. So what would you think would be the main job before you're an athletic director? Not necessarily
Trainer, athletic trainer.
Okay, what do you think?
Before you're an athletic director?
Okay. So I like that you thought about it. When I was thinking about it, most people used to always try to tell me, you have to be a coach first. And it was interesting to me that finally that wasn't really true, because that's all I used to hear, go from coaching into, and then you just go straight to athletic director. And I did some research on this project I did last semester, and there used to be a saying, it was like back in the minutes that, back in, way before sports got as big as they are today, that, they used to athletic director used to be just a retirement program for coaches before they actually did the real
only for football coaches.
Well, yeah, football coaches.
Okay, yeah,
correct.
only
That
men
is-
football coaches,
yeah,
right.
that is important to point out.
That was a retirement program for them,
Yeah, they weren't
yes.
just throwing it to any coach.
Right.
Important to point out. So it was kind of interesting to me after I interviewed that, you know, some of them had just been accountants, some of them had just worked with, just in the school system, not necessarily been around sports, but it was interesting to see that they had MBAs, different degrees, some of them didn't even have a second degree, but just got to the point with so much experience that they were still useful. So it kind of, it motivated me because I felt like I was behind, but I mean, and still being behind, but it just showed me that there's more of an opportunity to be in there. So, and that brought me to graduate school, which is where we are now, where I've been trying to work different avenues of just trying to gain some more experience in athletic administration and just keep learning.